Today marks 1710th day of day lessons, day reflections. And today I speak about a little bit about nature. And I was walking home and I went a little bit longer path to go home. And then I went on a hill. And I live in Vancouver, and Vancouver is a beautiful place. And on that hill, I had such a great view. I was able to see all around me, 360 degrees, and such a beautiful view when I look into the clouds, because in one direction I looked into, it was white, puffy clouds. I looked in other direction, there's white, but no clouds whatsoever, it's just white. Other direction was very grayish clouds, and I looked into even other direction. It was like some kind of storm bluish, very dark clouds. And I was thinking, such a beautiful thing when you're able to really enjoy this kind of view. You see the massive hyacinths intertwining with the clouds, and really enjoying this view. And as I thought about it, I see so many different things: blue skies, clouds from different shapes, different colors, and it's definitely something to learn from here. And I was thinking, okay, what are the things that I could really reflect on about this standing on the hill and then exploring this beautiful view of nature? And I found out that there's probably even more, but I think about six things that be able to really consider and reflect on when really looking into this kind of magnificent nature. So number one is that perspective changes everything. So what it means is that if I were not on the hill, but at the bottom of the hill, most likely I will not be able to see all aspects of the clouds, only part of it. I could see the storm maybe, maybe I could see the white puffy ones, maybe just white, maybe gray. And that means that sometimes we can believe that life that's what it is. It just we are in some one spot and we see one part of the cloud and it's like this is what life is. This is reality because that's where I am. Where you are is not reality. Where the reality is combination of things and being able to really get that perspective. Sometimes we are not able to really get our perspective because we really are at the bottom of the mountain, at the bottom of the hill, when we are not able to see their perspective. But really ask other people who are on that hill, who are on that mountain, asking, what do you see there? What is happening there? I want that perspective. I want to climb to better perspective because when I have a better perspective, when I will be on that hill, I will see how beautiful life is and everything there. That means there's no just joy, there's no just badness and shame and guilt. Everything is intertwined at the same time. It depends at what point those clouds are. Number two, storms and calm can coexist. And I already started speaking about it. Storms and calm can coexist. So that means when you are in a hill, when you are in that perspective, and you see everything, you see that everything is intertwining. That means that you can be calm and unhappy, be peaceful and unhappy. You can have some other emotions that you don't like and you like at the same time, and it's like, what is happening? Why my emotion sometimes is contradicted? And that's totally fine because there's some certain things that you are happy about, certain things about you're not happy about. So it's always will be in life something that you're proud about and something that you are not that happy about. And I think that allowing that contradictions in life is extremely important. It will never be that life is just one thing and one thing only. And knowing that, I think that it's just it gives you permission sometimes when you have only good things. You start to look, okay, what I need, what kind of protections do I need to build on my life that that when the storm comes, because it will come, I will be ready. If you see the storm, you know that there's somewhere close by a beautiful cloud. Maybe I just don't see it yet. I need to look around for those beautiful clouds because there is. There are there. But maybe I just close my eyes and not able to look into it because I just so directed my eyes, so focused in that direction that I just don't look around. There's other side is beautiful. Number three is no part of the sky stays forever. So then when I look into the clouds, and if you stay longer on the hill, you see that one part of the clouds disappears, moves to other direction. Blue skies comes in, then other clouds come in, and it means that all the clouds that was even the one thing that you focus on one direction, in that directional changes. Knowing that at the same time, most likely there's so many different clouds, but at the same time, if you stay in one direction, those clouds will change. The seasons changes, and one cloud will not stay there forever. It's not locked in. And our past, our futures, our storms, our good days is exactly the same. They fleeting, they going. And I think that it's extremely important to understand that that's why it's so important to be able to have that hill perspective. That sometimes if the a great cloud really move to other direction, we're able to really move our head and really look into other things that at this season is important. Because every single season will bring different things, and being able to really accept that there are seasons and really ask, okay, what do I need to look at in this season? I think that is extremely important. Number four, beauty often comes from contrast. And it's interesting thing because when I will look into as well on that hill and you see so many different things, and that contrast of so many things makes it even more beautiful. It would be beautiful if it would be just white clouds and blue skies would be beautiful. That's definitely, but the most beautiful when you really start to see everything together. And I think that in personal life is exactly the same thing. How are you supposed to be truly happy or truly content when you never experience what discontentment, what is unhappiness, what is shame, what is guilt, what is all the negative emotions? Because the more you experience those negative emotions, you allow those emotions to really to come into life, to release those emotions. At that moment, because you have seen the other side, you're so much more happy, so much more filled and joyful and content because you chose to look into the right emotions. But you know what is the other side. You know how it looks, but at the same time, allowing to really those emotions to come in and make that contrast in your emotions. It's one of the things that really separates people because emotional regulation is one of the most important things. And when you allow that contrast to stay in your life with different emotions, that's not denying the other side. Because I think it's easy to really say that I don't want those. I want just only positives. But I think that when you really deny the, the negatives, I think that we really put ourselves in a position that we do not able to really see the beauty in the contrast. Number five is life is bigger than your current emotion. Life is bigger, and again, this is I think one of the most important things about clouds is that they come and go, and you have one certain emotion, and we need to understand that current emotion is just current emotion, and that current means is changing constantly. And one thing is that beautiful about clouds and real life is that clouds are moved by wind, while our emotions are moved by our actions. And what actions do we choose? Because our actions are influenced by the wind that really pushes emotions closer or farther away from us. So we are able to ask, okay, what kind of actions do I take? How do I influence my emotions? What kind of wind do I blow in life? Because the clouds changing because the wind is bringing them in or are bringing it out. And we do not have a control over it. And sometimes we do not have control over certain things as well in life, but we're able to really have that influence, especially internally. And that's again the beautiful thing. The last one, number six, that I want to mention is that you don't have to fix every cloud. So that means we don't need to really change that gray cloud to a white cloud. This is not our job. So it means when we have some kind of negative emotion, we not need to change that all the time to a positive. Because the most important part is that cloud is going, its wind is blowing somewhere. And when sometimes we need to really focus on the good cloud and allow that cloud to really pass by. Because that cloud, if you actually do the right thing and influence yourself and to take right actions, not just focusing on the cloud, but on your life specifically, on the good cloud. If you focus on the good thing, that cloud, that emotion, that circumstance, that adversity will go by itself, but as a byproduct of you focusing on the right thing. Because a lot of times We focus on that cloud and focus, and we forget that life exists and our urgencies are on adversity rather than focusing on priorities. And that adversity most time even disappears by itself if we really did the right thing with our priorities. And that means that we don't need to fix every cloud. It might be that some clouds need to be need requires our attention. Sometimes we need to ask, okay, if I don't do anything about this, but I do really about my priority, will this cloud will disappear? If you say yes, so maybe we need to focus on priorities. If you say like, okay, if I achieve my priority, but this cloud is always stays there until I really focus on that. Let's focus on that. But there's a lot of clouds that we do not need to focus. It will move away when we literally focus on the right cloud. So how do you reflect as well as beauty? Because I think there's a beauty thing that there's so many things that we can learn from nature, and this is just one of the acts of beauty in nature. Because I always was amazed by clouds. For some reason, like there's so many different clouds, different sizes, different shapes, different way of moving, speed of moving, different location that you're looking to in the mountains, by the buildings. Like it's just endless. And I think that's again that's how is our emotions, our perspectives are endless. And I think that's a beautiful thing when we're able to really look into nature and learn even from nature as well. So I hope you choose to win and see you tomorrow.